the game we want to play. With hosts Ryan and Terry, it's Crokinole UK. Drain those open 20s, stack those buttons high. It's the greatest game on earth. Tune in and find out why. Hogan's Alley will get you in the mood. Don't go buying Crokinole from where goes in the nude. Hogan's Alley, it's time to play the game. It's the greatest game on earth. Crokinole's its name.
Good morning, good evening, good day, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is where you are and wherever in this big, beautiful Crokinole world you are. Welcome back to Hogan's Alley. Ryan isn't here because he's just had enough of me. But I am, however, joined by the lovely Helen Temby.
Hello.
And the superb Sammy Nour.
Hello.
How are we both?
Good. Yeah. Just about recovered from Expo. 2 weeks later?
All right, thank you. Expo was a joy.
Wow.
I've never heard it called that before.
Did you hear that? It was a joy.
Heard it called many things, but joy. Joy's a new one on me. Purpose of this episode, I think we're just going to really try and focus on tournament organising and try and get away from a little bit of a rut that we've kind of half fell into of just reviewing something and then previewing something. We will do that to an extent, but I really just wanted to put something out there for people that haven't organised a tournament or have maybe dipped their toes into it and just are wondering, how do you actually make it successful? So I think hopefully between the three of us, we've just got about enough brain cells that can tune into that element of it, and we can hopefully pass on some decent advice.
Let's hope so. I think we probably all come from it from different angles as well, don't we?
I'm not sure.
No?
I'm not sure.
We'll see.
I'm hoping that we see a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
He says taking his glasses off because he's steaming up. And it's absolutely freezing in Scotland as well, so it's not even ambient temperature. There we go.
Just too excited to talk about Crokinole.
Yeah, that's it. I just get a hot flush every time. Every time I think about, shuffleboard wax. 20 holders.
Whatever it does it for you.
So, Helen, how did the... it's not the UK Championships anymore because we rebranded it as the Great British Flick Off.
Yes.
And as John O'Brien pointed out to me, he said, you're going to have to be really careful with how you speak the letters on that.
Yeah, there's already been quite a few comments, including on the day. Helen, that font. Well, I didn't actually choose the font, but yeah, and until you actually see a photograph of it, you don't really see it. But anyway, moving on very swiftly, the Great British Flick Off. How was it? Well, I think, the day itself went really well. I got lots of positive feedback, lots of lovely comments. But as we were saying just before we started recording, what people don't see is the work that goes in behind that to make it all work. Yeah. And it is enjoyable, but it is exhausting. So especially with an event that size, I suppose, there's quite a lot of prep beforehand. It's, sending out all of the emails, making sure you've got balanced groups, all that kind of stuff. And I suppose the tricky thing with Expo, which you probably don't get as much with some of the other tournaments, maybe Aircon and Tabletop Scotland, maybe to a lesser degree, I don't know. This will be up to you, Terry. But it's the lack of control, as in, I can't go and visit the space beforehand. And this is with my organisation head on. I organised many large events in my career, and I've always been able to go and look at where we're going to be, face to face, speaking with the organisers, sort of getting into the bones of it. And brilliant as Millie was, who was our contact at UKGE, she's organising however many events she's organising.
30
I'm
or 40 different tournaments,
exactly.
plus
Yeah.
seminars, plus everything else that's
Yeah.
going on.
I'm a very small bullet point on her very large list, I would imagine. So she gave me the time that she could, and she was very good at sort of putting my mind at rest about where we were and the spacing of the tables and all that kind of stuff. But you're never quite sure till you actually get there. And just getting into the place, we had to get there for 7:30 to get set up, and then it was a struggle trying to actually get in because the security guard wasn't where he was supposed to be, and all that kind of stuff that's kind of a little bit stressful. But it was actually okay. And because I suppose I had done all that prep and made contact with her and had a Zoom call with her and, spoken copious amounts of time to Steve Mellors from Play Crokinole about, organising how we're going to get hold of the boards and all that kind of stuff. It worked. So you do need to put the prep in. And that side of it was absolutely fine. And I think, obviously, you weren't there, Terry, but Sammy, I think you'll agree that where we were, it could have been better, but it wasn't actually that bad in
I
terms
thought
of
the
space.
location was really good, actually, because it was on the side of the hall. You had some toilets there. There was a little bar. There was a couple of cafes nearby. I thought it was a fairly good location.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
it
was
wasn't too
quite.
bad. And I think because we were in the hall with mostly tournaments, there was a little bit of open play, but not that close to us. It was fairly quiet, and we'd got Warcry, was it, behind us? And I clocked on the layout of the map that I was sent beforehand that they got 2 rows behind us. And we got 2 rows. They were very, very long rows. But I was kind of thinking, it'd be great if we can have some spare boards for open play on a 3rd row. And this is my famous attention to detail. I was checking sort of the day before how many tickets they'd sold for the Saturday, and they'd sold less than half. So I thought, they're going to have space. They are going to have space. So as soon as I saw the guy rock up, I went over to him and I said, "Hi, are you the Warcry TO?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." He said, "Oh yeah, we're usually behind you at Tabletop Scotland." So yeah, I didn't recognise him, but he recognised us. So I sort of sweet talked him and said, "Any chance we can have half of that row?" "Yeah, no problem." So that worked really well because we had about, I don't know, 5 or 6 spare boards maybe that we were then able to use for open play, which maybe we'll come on to later. But so from a space point of view, there was good spacing between the rows. It was all good. It was a long way to shout. I had got Ryan's PA system, but I didn't listen to him and I didn't switch it off in between, and we did run out of battery. By the time we got to the afternoon session, my voice was going. Chris Robinson did shouting for me, but we got through it.
I could imagine Chris can make himself heard in a noisy room.
Yeah, well, even he was struggling a little bit. It was a bit tricky, but we got there in the end.
I think even with the PA though, in that environment, it's really, really tricky, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's a big space. There's lots of people playing games. As you said, it's as quiet as it's going to get in a hall at the NEC. But even when you were using the PA, I think it was, people at the other end couldn't hear you. You sort of need little runners, people just running up and down. Which people are happy to do, aren't they? They're just, I'll come those people.
Yeah, definitely.
So you kind of can't win with that.
No, you can't. No, and I think that was one learning actually that James Bebop came up with afterwards, because he was one of the refs in one of the groups, and he said, obviously people couldn't hear everything I was saying, and it's a lot of information to get across as well, especially to those that haven't played in a tournament before. I mean, the likes of you, Sammy and Terry, you know what you're doing. You don't really need any guidance at all. But there were quite a few people there that, there were a few that never played before at all, I don't think, and quite a few that certainly hadn't played in a tournament. It's a lot of information to get across. So he suggested at an event that size, maybe another time where you've got your 6 or however many referees it is per group, one per group, that maybe you give them a little bit of a briefing. They have their 7 or 8 people round them, where they're going to be playing, and they go through it all, which I didn't think was a bad idea. And then they're more likely to ask questions if they're not sure as well, rather than shouting up in a group of 34 or whatever it was. Yeah. So
See, as you were discussing that, I'm just wondering if there's an app out there that, everyone bring your phone and a pair of headphones, and you've got like a little closed PA kind of group almost.
So do you mean a bit like where you go to a museum and they tell you what's on? Yeah, that kind of thing. Almost like a tour guide type thing.
Yeah. Or you could have those pre-recorded, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I know in the past I've used Jeremy Tracy's videos.
Yes.
The one on completing the scorecard and how a round robin works.
Yes, which we do put on the email. Well, we did put on the email actually that went out. I mean, again, in the email, credit to Ian Witt, because I just basically copied and pasted what he did last year. And that had got the email of how to do a round robin. Now, let's be realistic. How many people actually read every word of every email they receive?
None.
They don't. I know this. and yet I'm still surprised when people turn up and say, "Oh, I bought my own board. It says to bring boards." No, I didn't.
No one reads anything.
I know this, and yeah, I still do it. I'm still hopeful. I'm ever hopeful that people will read my emails.
Well, that's the thing. If you've sent it out, you can say at least, "Well, I did send that."
Exactly.
And you can't not send it out, even though most people don't read it.
No, I know.
It's just what it is, isn't it?
It is just what it is. Yeah. So I think the day itself went really well. The format, so it was 2 groups. We had 74 in total, 2 of whom signed up on the day, which was great. So what's that, 37? Is that my maths? Yeah. In the morning and same in the afternoon. So we had, oh God, this is where my maths goes completely wrong. Is that 6 groups? Hold on. 4 groups. No, 4 groups of kind of 10 or 9, depending on where we were in the morning, and the same in the afternoon. So obviously we had some that were with an anchor, some that weren't. And then it was the top 4 that went through from each group in the morning, top 4 in the afternoon, to a round of 32. And then went to quarterfinals from there. So, and also we did run a B pool. There were only I think it was only 8 people in the B pool.
Now, I'd like to talk about the B pool for a minute, because I understand that someone possibly quite close to you was runner-up in the B pool.
This is true. So one of the phrases, or 2 phrases that stick in my mind. One was, "I'm not the best crokinole player in our house anymore. Not even the cat's better than me." And the other one was, "This is the worst day of my life." So this is James Bebop Temby, who had an absolute mare. Now, I wasn't really aware of this as it was going on, because was he in the same group as same heat as me? Do you know what? I can't even remember. I don't think he was. So I think he played in the morning and I played in the afternoon. And he just, I don't know what went wrong. He wasn't playing well. He just couldn't relax. He kept getting the yips. He just had an absolute mare. He didn't beat people that he should have done. When it kind of got to the end, I was sort of, so I did get through, which I'll come on to my journey shortly, because that was a bit outstanding, even if I say so myself, for me. So most of the helpers got through, and the only ones out of the sort of the main team that was helping me that didn't get through were James and Sam Robinson. And James came up to me at one point, and I said, "I've got through, so you're going to have to run the B pool." And he was like, "Well, I don't know." And I said, "What boards am I going to use?" I said, "Those over there, the ones that have been used for open play. Yeah, but they haven't even been polished properly. I said, oh, I don't matter. It's only the B-pool, James. He was not happy about that.
I thought he had a bit of a cob on, and now I know why.
Yeah, for sure he did. And he wasn't going to go in it. I said seriously, come on, you've got to go in it. There was only 8 of them, and then he came second, and he said, and there was a medal for second for the B-pool. He said, I can't accept that from you, and I said, you will. So we did. Yeah, not sure where it is, but
that was superb. It made my day when you posted the kind of standings. I was like, and B-pool Ian Abbott, and it's just like,
yeah.
What, Jimmer got in the B-pool and he never. Ian Abbott? Buddy, I don't know if I've ever met. Beers are on me next time.
Lovely guy, actually, really nice guy. He came along with his son, who I think. I'm not sure. I was way too busy playing in the second round to see who was actually in the B-pool, but I think he might have been as well. But James, in typical James fashion, had a complete man crush on the son, George. Said he was the coolest dude he'd ever met. So yeah. So shout out to George and Ian. They were lovely and very generous in their. Well, Ian was very generous in his victory, shall we say? Oh dear, hilarious.
And how did the rest of the podium round out?
So we had. Do you want to go? Should we go from quarterfinals or semi-finals, or what do you want? Where should we go?
I would just keep it the top 3. Or
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So the final was George McCarthy against Mike Ray. Good match, actually. George was on form. I saw him play a few of the last sort of matches. I wasn't in it. He played in the morning session, I think, and I didn't get a chance to see any of his heat matches, but he was definitely on form, and he beat Mike 12-6. They did a play to 11 in the final, and then Harry Rowe and Dean French were in the playoff, third place playoff, which Harry won again. A really close match, 10-8 that came out. They were playing to 9. And also in the semi-finals, we had who else did we have? We had lost it. But yeah, those were the top spots. So I think George is currently the man to beat. Is he going to Leicester, Sammy?
Yep. Yeah, he is.
Is it you he's playing with in the doubles, Terry?
I can't possibly say. Yeah.
I can't remember who you said now.
That's a tasty team there.
Tasty team.
It could be all right.
Yeah.
Good to see Brandon back again.
Yeah, Brandon was on. Brandon's a fabulous person to see whenever you see him. He had his entourage with him. He said that he's trying to out entourage George. He introduced me at one point. I think it was his wife, his brother, maybe his sister. There was an older daughter. And then there was 11-week-old baby Elwyn. I think it's Elwyn. Sorry, Brandon, if I've got that wrong. Oh my God, she was adorable. And there was there were about 8 of them. It felt like just hanging around and being lovely. And honestly, Brandon's so encouraging. He was really encouraging. He played with a couple from our club that were there who, first tournament, only been playing short period of time, and he was just lovely and very generous with his play. But I did draw to him 4-all, so I'm quite pleased with that.
Ooh, go on.
That's not the best.
Yeah, come on, blow your own trumpet for a bit.
So my journey, as the kids say. So I kind of forgotten that I was playing. So I, initially, when I first said that I would organise this one or take the lead on it, I thought, no, can't play. It's too much. And then Chris Robinson, it must have been when we were at Manchester, maybe, was going, oh, no, come on. If you, he said, I'll play in the morning. you play in the afternoon, and I can do any running that needs to be done sort of in the afternoon. And then a few others kind of piped up, and James said, yeah, same. So my helpers on the day really were Chris, Sam, Mike, Ian, and James, and they were all fabulous one way or another, and couldn't have done it without any of them, honestly. So I split them into sort of, including myself, 3 and 3, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. So I thought, now I've got people that can run it in the afternoon for me. So I thought, yeah, go on then, I will. But on the morning of, bearing in mind this was at 5:30 in the morning because we had to go there really early, I suddenly thought, oh, I'm playing this afternoon. I haven't even thought about that. I haven't got my hammer coin ready or anything like that. So I thought, oh, okay, go on then, I will play. And I think the kind of the build up to it, I'll say stress, but the stress of it all and sort of thinking about it just kind of blew my nerves out of the water. Not that I get really nervous, but you know what it's like when you're at a tournament, everything just, you sat down in front of somebody at a tournament that you've just been, you know, banging 20s into the middle, and all of a sudden a little bit of tension comes in, doesn't it? None of that. It all gone. So I really relaxed, and I played pretty well. So in my group, my group stages in the first heat, so I drew 4-4 against Brandon, and I beat Harry Rowe 5-3.
Ooh.
I know. And Harry was, because we were obviously going round the tables, Harry was sort of right next to me all the way around. And every time I sat down against somebody that I knew, I was like, I've just beaten Harry Rowe. And he sort of looked over at me and grinned. I said, I'm sorry, Harry, but I'm dining out on this. So that was the first thing. Then, of course, I got through the round of 32, which James was, you know, he was pleased for me, to be fair, but gutted for himself.
Through gritted teeth.
Yeah, through gritted teeth, indeed. And then obviously I sat down in front of Dan Rowe, who last twice I played him, just smashed me 8-0, as would be expected. He must have sat down there and thought, yes, this is 8-0. And I have, you know, no problem with him thinking that, because why wouldn't he? And I beat him 5-3.
Superb.
Yep. So I couldn't quite believe it, really. And I'm sorry, Dan, but he didn't get through to the quarterfinals by 1 point. And I think he blames me, because he would have, to be, you know, he absolutely would have expected and should have got 8-0 against me. I have no problem with saying that, because he would every other day. And he didn't. So sorry, Dan.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I mean, then I came bottom of my group after that, but that was enough.
And just when you're going through the list of names there that were helping you out on the day, I mean, that's a really good bunch. You know, there's
my
a lot
God,
of experience, if not always in running tournaments. You know, the Sam and Chris are always willing to
honestly, fabulous.
Anything, whether it's a kind of teaching someone to play, whether it's waxing boards, whether it's organising something in the fringes, they're just, you know, absolute stars.
Yeah, no, and so Ian, so he came and stayed at our Airbnb, which you know well. I mean, it's not really an Airbnb; it's an annex. The night before, and he was really helpful, sort of leading up to it, because obviously he ran it last year. So if I had any questions, he was really supportive on that. And also, so him, James, and Mike, the 4 of us managed to get in early. So they basically set the boards up whilst I was faffing about with all the admin stuff. And then as soon as Chris and Sam turned up, they were polishing, leveling boards. I'd got all the information on my laptop. Don't think I touched it after that. Sam just took it over and just recorded everything, recorded all the scores. Did manage to spill coffee on it at one point, which was a little bit of a hairy moment. But he looked over at me and went, Helen, I've spilled coffee on your laptop. So I just grabbed it, ran to the cafe and said, have you got any tissue paper? It was fine. So he just took that on, and Chris was helping him with that. Mike was, you know, the fantastic mathematician, thank you, that he usually is. Because the bit that really I struggled to get my head around, and I knew that I would, and it just doesn't suit the way that my brain works, is the kind of sort of
He's going to be
formatting
seeded
part
in
of it.
what
Yeah,
later on.
who goes, who plays who, and all the rest of it. Bless him. He got a sheet of A4 and he was writing down all this stuff. And about 2 or 3 times during sort of before we got to the knockouts and stuff, he'd come over to me and go, Helen, what I've done is put so and so there, so and so there, so and so there, so and so there. And I was like, Mike, just carry on. You don't need to run it past me. I have no idea if that's right, but I know it is because you're doing it.
I've got a
Thank you.
spreadsheet for mine.
Yes, well, I sort of used it
hoping
partly,
to,
but
yeah.
not to that for that bit. But if you've got something that works on that, that's brilliant.
Well, we'll see. We'll see next Sunday.
I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, going back to the helpers, I mean, you know, I don't know if you saw on Facebook, Jason, he thought it was hilarious. He kept taking photos of me. So 5 minutes before before it opened to the public, I was sat there with a cup of coffee, just relaxing. And then a bit later on, there's a photograph of me standing behind Chris and Sam, who were poring over my laptop, and I'm just looking very relaxed. And he was just putting delegation, the delegation queen. But that would be my number one tip for a tournament organizer: is get the right team around you. It doesn't have to be just you. I don't think, especially for a tournament of that size, it shouldn't be just you. It's too much. Use the skills of the people around us, and we all know what those skills are. Mike can sort out seeding and formatting with his eyes closed and one hand tied behind his back. So why wouldn't you ask him to do it when it would take me 6 hours to do the same thing? So that is absolutely my top tip: is get a team.
Get a team and don't be afraid to delegate.
Oh, delegation is the key. And that, we all know what a fantastic community Crokinole is. And there were other people around that were just coming up to me and going, oh, can I go and get you a cup of tea? Or you all right? Anything I can do? The likes of Sam Breeze and Alex Hurl spring to mind. Yeah, some lovely people. And, everyone I can think of would be willing to help if you ask them.
I was just looking at the kind of full list of results, and it struck me. I mean, I think we have to mention it, that for the first time, attendance was down year on year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there's a number of factors in that. I can't help but think that rebranding it something other than the UK Crokinole Championships has had an element of impact.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I was fully expecting it to get to top the 100 for the first time. But looking at that, Katie Hunter-Choate coming in 24th place. That was an excellent result. Yeah,
she. I say again, I didn't get a chance to actually watch her play, but she played obviously very well and was the usual wonderful person that she is. She played really well.
And while you're here, I'll actually pick you up a bit, Sammy, because you did okay coming in 12th.
You did.
You should be pleased with that.
Do you know, that is probably my best performance at any UK event. I don't know what happened.
Wow.
I just, like you were saying earlier, Helen, about, sometimes those losses that should have been draws and draws that should have been wins. I was just getting all of those that day. I really don't know what happened. And beat a couple of people who should have beaten me, which I was quite pleased with. Thankfully, they were good sports about it. But yeah, I honestly don't know what happened that day. I find that the intensity of just playing that many games of Crokinole a bit much sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes I get I've played 5 people 4 times. I'm like, I could just use a break from this. But I didn't actually feel that day. I was just really enjoying it for some reason. So, would have been nice to just sneak in above Al, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would. Mark, Mark, sorry, Mark, if you're listening, but Al would have been a good little good win. But never mind.
Snapping at his heels there, though. Snapping at his heels there, buddy. And just good to see a lot of names that I just don't recognise at all.
Yeah, there were loads of people that there were a few faces that I thought, oh yeah, no, I have seen you somewhere before. There were definitely quite a few, I couldn't put a number on it, people that hadn't been to tournaments before, and so there were a few that maybe have played on a friend's board a few times, and but hadn't really played. I mean, we had 8. I'm including myself in this. I'm also including Ian Haywood because he came once. We had 8 from the Evesham Crokinole Club, which is our fairly newly formed club, which was just amazing. And I definitely need to shout out to Rich Gurman, who has been coming to our club for a while and is a really big supporter of it, good big ball gamer as well, who came 16th, which was a fabulous result for him. And Dave Wells, who you won't know, Terry, he's again a board gamer, somebody that James worked with years ago, actually. He's been coming to our club since it started in November, which, bearing in mind, is only once a month. He doesn't have a board, so he gets to play once a month for a couple of hours. And he came 22nd.
One place ahead of Mark Grist.
There you go. So, yeah, he was well chuffed. So we had four of our club that came in the top 30. James obviously wasn't one of them, but we'll move on.
Absolutely no punches pulled on the podcast. Name and shame, read people out. Love it.
Well, you think he wouldn't do the same?
So the Great British Flick-Off officially marked into the second half of the season, this elongated season that we've decided to go for this time round. Hopefully normal service, or what will become normal service, will start in January.
Yep.
So we are in that the kind of it's getting towards the business end now. And next up, of course, we've got the Crown Cup in Leicester. Sammy will talk a little bit about that after this quick break.
Hogan's Alley!
Do your discs die quicker than an insubordinate gringo? Are you finding more frequently that you no longer go the distance? Well, Capo wax to the max, baby. Bring back that slide and watch those discs glide. Season your ditch like it's a crispy empanada. Don't be bland. Be liberal with the sand. Stop being crapo. Use Capo. Try it today free. For your first 20 grams, email pablo.waxcabar@columbia.net.
It's right up our Hogan's Alley.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that productive little jingle-ette from the song Minds of Jason Noble.
Very good. We look forward
Helen,
to hearing what it is.
Helen, you must have forgotten something.
I have forgotten something, Terry. I mean, this is the format, isn't it? Just 2 quick shout outs. Another shout out to Steve Mellors from Play Crokinole. The boards held up really well, actually. I think you'll agree, Sammy. They played really well.
I thought the boards were great. I think that I wasn't really sure what to expect, as I know I think people were saying they played a lot better this year than they did last year, and lots of praise for them. I couldn't find anything wrong with them. I thought they were really smooth, really nice to play on, really slick. They were quite fairly consistent, I thought. Actually.
Yeah, they were actually. I think more consistent than they have been before. So well done, Steve. Great stuff. He was really supportive on the day as well, came along and helped out. Sort of later on, especially with putting everything away. So thanks to Steve. And a final shout out to Kaylee, George McCarthy's wife. So anyone that's been to a tournament will know Kaylee, and ferrying the kids around, always supporting George. So I said before, we had 4 or 5 boards, I think, for open play, and obviously most of the rest of us were involved in playing. So she took on the mantle of teaching loads of newbies. Sam Robinson also later on did as well. And I'm sure got loads of people enthused for Crokinole. So thanks to Kaylee.
So next up, and a new one for me because I didn't make it there last year, Crokinole Crown Cup is coming up on the 27th of June at the County Bridge Club in sunny Leicester. And I hope I have a better journey to Leicester than the only time I've been there before. I think it was 17, maybe 18, and drove down with a friend from Dumfries to Leicester and then back again the same night to see a gig at the university or something. And Kev didn't put enough fuel in his car, and we ran out of petrol just a couple of miles outside of Leicester. And I remember it was like 50 odd pounds for someone to come out just with a gallon of unleaded to get us there.
Oops.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's only upward from there, really, isn't it?
Well, hopefully. So, how's the prep going for it?
Yeah, I think we're all good, ready to go. Got some trophies, little trophies for
Always
winners
nice.
and things. The tickets are almost sold out now. I think there's like a couple of doubles tickets and maybe 10 or 12 singles, which is great. The venue are really supportive and really helpful with getting things ready. I've got the Crokinole UK coffin, aka a big box full of stuff. And yeah, just thinking, we talked about the spreadsheet earlier and kind of like the format, how's things going to work. Definitely took some learning from last year, which was the first one that we sort of organised. So yeah, I think we're all good, feeling good about it.
So what are the key learning points from last year then?
So the key learning points last year were I think it really fell down about with some of the logistics of the actual play. So I had downloaded a sort of stopwatch app to my computer, which I'd tested at home but hadn't tested properly. It seems as, I'd set it for like 14 minutes or 16 for doubles, whatever it was, and then a minute break and then start again. And it didn't do that. So on the day, so I was sort of running up and doing the timer. And then the other thing that we sort of went wrong fairly quickly in the doubles was not realizing about how teams move around. So if you've got an even number of players, you need an anchor or whichever it is. And my parents was quite involved in this bridge club where the venue is. And my dad had said, I've got numbers for the tables, so you don't need to worry about it. And then they had numbers up to 15. And we obviously had more than that. So I was kind of like, I should have just like printed my own. But obviously I hadn't asked what numbers they'd gone up to. So that was on me, really. So there was, in the doubles, we sort of went round in a circle on the inside, and then people went on the outside or whatever it was, and people came back to who they started with quite quickly. So there wasn't really a system like this after that. So people were just sort of playing people that they hadn't played before in the tournament, obviously, and that ended up with some people sitting out for rounds, which added time, meant that things took longer than they should have done. So they were the two big things really that I got wrong. Or didn't go so well. Most people were great, actually. They were like, "No worries, we'll just play you. Let's crack on," sort of thing. But I think that the issue was because when you're running doubles and singles in the same day, it's such a long day. You've got so many activities in there. You've got a time that we basically need to be at the venue by. So I think that we went over to the point where in the singles at the end of the day, we were going to do quarterfinals, semi-finals, final. We ended up not doing the quarterfinals and just going straight to the semis. So, there was some people disappointed that they didn't have that extra sort of round to play, which is, I totally understand. So this year, I've got the coffin thing. It's got the timer. Mike's been telling me about there's an app you can download that he's used loads, which works really well. I've got numbers for the tables. Thought about how many teams, which players, who's moving where as they go through their games in the stages. Really, so they were the kind of big learning points for me, I think.
I mean, that a few things there that you said. I would harp back. I mean, you can understand some people maybe being disappointed, if it could have been an extra game that could have led to us going through or whatever, or me going through or whatever. But, again, you can't not have the final. So it's an unfortunate decision, but ultimately I think it was the right one. Of scrapping the quarters on the fly, as it were, because otherwise, you're playing the final in the car park, and that's kind of suboptimal in anyone's book.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think most people were kind of all right about it. I think it's just, we want it to be the best event that it can be,
Yeah.
and obviously we recognise that people have paid, money to enter, and almost everybody's put diesel in their car or on the train to get there, and food, and some people have got a hotel and stuff. So I was a bit disappointed that we didn't do everything that we wanted to do. But I think, like you say, it's about that learning experience, isn't it? I was just, I don't know if I'm just a bit mad sometimes. I'm like, oh, I can put on this event or that event, or that looks fun. Oh, there's only one doubles tournament on the thing. I can do that. Oh, you know what I mean? So, and for fairness to the Crocodile guys, like, shout out especially to like Ryan and yourself, like super, super helpful with preparation. And, I've made a whole spreadsheet. I've sent it to Ryan. We've looked at it to like try and kind of work that out. And like you were saying earlier, Helen, about, and yourself, Terry, about people being really helpful on the day. I think there was a couple of points where there was Mike and Ian. They just sort of saw me flapping a little bit, and they were just like, it's cool, man. Look, we're just going to move this way, and we'll just play people who we've not played. It doesn't matter. Just chill. Stop worrying about it. You know what I mean? Everyone just kind of chipped in, and even like just sort of just telling me to chill out, which was really, really helpful, because I think that most people cared less than I thought. It was just people were having fun, and just enjoying the crocodiles. So
I think there's something. I don't think and I can't remember how many events I've run, whether that be tour or kind of local ones in Scotland. But I don't think any of them have been perfect. There's always been, I forgot about that, or I should have done that. And I think it's just one of those things that you kind of have to accept when it's just, as long as it's nothing major, if you forget something in the briefing, or this overran because of something, and just things do happen.
Yeah,
make it a little bit more interesting. But
at the end of the day, we're not professionally paid tournament organisers. We're people that are kind of doing it because we want to do it, or had our arms twisted. I can't remember. But
everyone does it on a voluntary basis. No one's taking anything out of the game.
No.
In that, whenever we do make a profit on an event, it's put into our bank account, so that if another event takes a slight hit, then the tournament organizer isn't out of pocket.
Yeah.
And it's also allowed us to then kind of long-term invest in starting to get perpetual trophies.
Yeah.
The Masters has one. Does it? Am I just talking rubbish there? Aircon has one.
Aircon's got one. Tabletop Scotland's got one. Yeah, a few of them have now, haven't they?
Yeah, the tour winners got the mini board, and there's a permanent one for the UK's as well, isn't there? Is there? For the UK Championship. I should probably be better briefed on these things.
Well,
we're not professionals. What can we say?
There you go.
I think you're right, though, isn't it? It's like, everyone who is organising a tournament is putting, unamounted for hours of unpaid sort of volunteer work into sort of doing that, because it's just sort of for the love of it, and just like because they enjoy it, they get something out of it, and there's a really nice feeling about just looking around a room of people playing Crocodile, and you're like, I managed to, I had something to do with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, Terry, I do agree with that. I think there's no perfect events. Like I run sort of organised art events all the time, and sometimes I'm doing one event I'm in the 9th year of running, and I get somewhere and I'm like, I forgot that, or I didn't say that. Like I do this 10 times a year, you know what I mean, or whatever it is. So I think, like you say, it's there is no perfect event, but I'd be really happy if the things that didn't go smoothly last year went smoothly this year.
Yeah.
That would be my my sort of aim for it.
And I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
No,
And that-
it sounds like you've recognised what the issues were.
Yeah.
You've put plans in place to mitigate them or to cancel them out. There will be something else that will come up.
Yeah.
There's always something. I mean, I had the speaker issue, and one thing for you to check, actually, Sammy, is, and I keep meaning to ask Ryan about it, the timer. So it runs, or I ran it off a power bank, which is what Ryan suggested. But I don't know if you noticed, every so often it would just shut off, even though the power bank was fully charged. And I just I had to unplug it, plug it. Someone would go, "Oh, hello," unplug it, plug it back in again, press start, and off it went again. So I'm not sure what the issue there is, but I don't remember that being an issue at Manchester. So I don't know. I'll speak to Ryan.
I'll give it a plug in and look at it.
But it's just little things like that until you actually run it and it's happening, it's you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, do you?
Yeah. Well, that's it as well, isn't it? Once you've done something a few times, you kind of have that experience to fall back on and not get into a flap or just be like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like the show will go on, as it were.
Yeah.
I think, first few times definitely you don't have that experience to sort of draw on and just think, no one's going to die. Everyone's
exactly.
It's going to be great.
Exactly.
But I will say though, I do think that I will say like all the Crokinole UK guys and girls been like really supportive. Like the one I did last year wasn't on the tour, but it was sort of affiliated in a way. And Ryan, bless him, he had spent a lot of time just answering my dumb questions. I really do think that, and like Ian on the day was just like, what can I do, mate? Is everything sorted? How can I help? Mike as well. Any sort of tournament is, everyone's been like really supportive. So I would definitely encourage people to, maybe put on an event or a club or something and speak to people in the Crokinole UK community, because everyone's just super helpful. I definitely haven't felt like I've done any of it on my own, so and when there was things last year, like even Ryan was a bit like, I could have told you that, couldn't I, or something. Do you know what I mean? It was like everyone, no one was like, oh, those things went wrong, was your fault, Sam. It was quite like, it was like we put on this thing and we'll own the mistakes together and we'll own what went wrong and try and fix it. So I feel like that has really sort of encouraged me to want to do it again.
Whereas this year we'll own the successes together, and any failures are all yours.
And you've got me and Terry there this year as well, because I wasn't there last year. So obviously just shout on the day and we'll be more than happy to help out.
So Helen, I did hear that you were unhappy with the tournament last year was called.
Wow. Yes.
I feel like I need to explain.
I do understand the King and the Leicester connection, but so, come on, Sammy. 2026.
I was going to call it the Car Park King. Like.
Okay.
Because Richard III found under the car park, etc. But then I thought probably people no one knows or cares about. So I was like, King of Croc, and then even still no one got the reference to Richard III. So my apologies.
No, not at all. Not at all. No,
I forgot the Crown Cup. The Crown Cup.
It's amazing. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I mean the absolute feminist in me wouldn't let that one pass.
Oh, absolutely. No,
it's fine.
I do get that. And I think on a side note, it'd be really great to see some more kids, some more women playing the game. You mentioned that was lots more women playing at the UK Championship.
Definitely, yeah. I think we worked out the percentage of the day, didn't we, Terry? And it wasn't bad, was it? Maybe it was Ryan. No, I think I put something on the WhatsApp chat. Somebody asked how many women there were, and I worked out, and Ryan did the percentages for me. I can't remember now, but it was a lot better than it had been.
That's great.
It felt like there were more there, I think.
Yeah.
And a few youngsters as well. So I think it's improving.
Yeah, I think it's really important to sort of be inclusive and spread the
Definitely.
game to more people. And
Yeah.
you know, you just sometimes you look around the room. You don't want to look around the room and just see all like sort of sweaty blokes looking back.
No one wants that.
No, nobody wants that. No. Definitely not.
So everything I think is kind of in hand. I believe that you are looking for some boards. So
Yes.
if you are coming, do bring a board.
Yeah, please bring a Tracy. Yeah, that'd be great.
Do you know how many you need yet, Sammy?
If we stall for time while I open the spreadsheet,
And you're doing that marvelously.
Yes,
be
he's
able
doing
to
that.
do it.
One thing I was going to suggest, actually, and I'll say it whilst I think of it because I'll forget. We all know what that's like. It might have been Ryan that I was having the conversation with rather than a group chat. Whether we think there would be any benefit in having almost like a dummy guide for TOs with the kind of the basics. I mean, obviously, different tournaments are all slightly different in terms of venue, format, but some of the stuff that has to happen with all of them. Because as a new TO this year, I kind of, although I've been to loads of tournaments and I see what happens, it's more the prep. What do I actually need to have done before I get there? And I think I would have found it useful. I mean, it was, there was no problem with me messaging you, Terry, or Ryan, or Mike, or Ian. What do I do about so and so? But like I just said a few minutes ago, if you don't know, you don't know. You don't know the questions to ask. If you don't know, you've got to ask them. And I did say to Ryan, if we thought that would be useful, I'd be happy to kind of make a start on it and obviously get input from other people as well.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of merit in that.
Cool.
You're looking for something in the region of 22 boards.
Oh, you'll scoosh it.
Yeah, no worries.
If there's 44 players, so if half of the people coming bring a board, that would be really, really helpful.
And hopefully there's a few more. So, as I always say, I'd rather be looking at them than looking for them.
Yeah.
Can always leave them in the car.
Just to come back, Helen, to what you were saying earlier about sort of having some free play at the UK Championships. I just want to give an anecdote of I was playing in the sort of second round.
Yeah.
And there was a few people just coming and playing on the boards actually. And there was one guy with his kids, and I was sort of between games. He was, "Oh mate, tell me about this rule, tell me about that rule." And he was like really, you could tell he was really getting into it. And then he asked me about the boards and how much does it cost, etc. So I told him about like to buy a Tracy or however the Maple, whichever one it is, and he was like, "Oh, that seems like a lot of money." And then I sort of broke it down in terms of how much value you'll get out of that board, especially like they were playing with his kids, they were having a really nice time. And he was like, at first he was like, "Oh yeah, I can't afford that, I don't want to buy it." And then you could sort of see the cogs turning in his head, like, this could be a really good investment. So I think having those extra boards was really, really beneficial, and it was really nice just seeing people, especially even when they didn't know what the rules and no one had explained anything yet. You'd worked out that you flick the thing, flick a disc across it. But yeah, there was a few people who just sat there for a really, really long time.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Just picking up a rule here and there from someone walking past. And I think it was really nice just to have the extra space where people can come and try something new at a Games Expo, which is kind of what it's all about, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and if although we didn't reach the numbers that we might have done, I think if we had have done, we wouldn't have had those extra boards. To be honest, it was nice to we were always going to have some spares because we fairly late on realised we weren't going to get to the 104. But no, there is definite value in that, as you say, especially at somewhere like Expo where you've got people wandering around all the time.
Sometimes it's better as well to have to do just even if it's not completely sold out, is you put on an amazing tournament, an amazing show for the people that are there. And sometimes less crowded can be a little bit better, or it's not the end of the world.
No, not at all. No, I was, I think Terry's right. I think the fact that it's not UK's anymore, the fact that we've now got more tournaments on the tour, I think it does dilute it a little bit. Not taking anything at all away from Leicester, but it's not that far away in terms of time and distance from Birmingham. So if people might be able to go to that one and not Expo. Expo is very, very busy, and if you're not into ball games and you're just paying to go and play Crokinole, it's pretty expensive. I think there's several reasons why maybe it's reduced. Although we didn't get to the 104, I was actually really happy with 74. Because at one point I was thinking, oh my God, we're not going to get more than 32.
I honestly thought it was a great tournament. Went really, really smoothly, and it just seemed to run like clockwork from my point of view.
Great
there
stuff.
You go.
I'm just looking at our page on the Crown Cup. So refreshments and food will be available at the venue.
Yes.
It's saying
For Leicester.
Yeah. Is that right?
Is this true, Sammy?
Is that
Oh, sorry.
That'd just be the best.
There's a shop nearby.
Right.
There'll be a shop nearby. There's a shop about a 5-minute walk.
Okay.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So maybe we need to amend that. Can I just say as well, I wasn't sure what you guys were talking about with the logo, with the flick off. So I did go onto the website and pull it up.
You get it now.
Okay.
You get it now.
It's
quite close together.
I think you should absolutely keep that. I think that's
I honestly did not see it until I think it was on the day because I put the trophies out. I was very nervous about putting them out because they were made of glass for anyone that's not seen them. But I was brave in the end. And somebody came and went, oh, I think it might have been Katie, actually. Typical Katie. Said, oh, that font's interesting, Helen. I said, what? Oh, yeah. Didn't see it.
I think it's
my pure mind, you see.
Oh, it's brilliant.
So there we go. We've got Leicester coming up on the 27th. On the 27th. I would imagine some folk will be staying overnight. I know certainly I am. So I might be looking for a few people to go out for something to eat and a couple of beers afterwards.
We're staying over the night before, but not the night of.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds great, Terry. There'll be a few of us here. I'm sure we could normally go for a beer after or grab some food or something. Let's
do it.
Chat.
Let's do it. So hopefully see some of the listeners there. That'd be nice. Also on the 27th of June, tickets will become available at 6 p.m. So right about closing time right about when the final's on, I would imagine, for the Crown Cup.
Yeah.
I think that'd probably work out about right. At 6 p.m, tickets become available for the Crokinole Grand Prix of Scotland at Tabletop Scotland. I am led to believe that there will be no fee for the Grand Prix this year. So it's just get your entry ticket for Tabletop Scotland and you can enter it. So that'll be good.
Fab.
What else did I have on notes that was going down? And of course, Tabletop Scotland is in Edinburgh on the 5th of September at the Royal Highland Centre. So just on the outskirts, right next door to the airport. Also, we may as well put an announcement out just now, and I'll get something up on our social media channels. Crokinole UK AGM for 2026 is going to be on Tuesday, September the 15th. And we're kind of thinking it's going to be at 7:30. That'll be an online thing. I'll put we'll get full instructions out via email and our social media channels about how you can request to join. Essentially, it's just a case of emailing play@crokinoleuk.com with the title AGM, and then we'll have your name, your email address, and we know to send you a link to whatever platform we're going to be using for it. And I think that's a wrap.
Amazing.
I don't think there's anything else to discuss. We've got through that fairly tightly. I'm quite happy that I could sit back and listen for most of that as well, because that was quite nice.
We missed Ryan though, didn't we?
Oh, always.
We did.
Ryan, we missed you.
We missed you, Ryan.
And he's not going to be at Leicester either. So
He's not.
no.
Perhaps he was just like, oh no, Sammy and his questions like about organising events. No,
Terry's having it this year.
I thought he was going to Leicester. Oh no, because yeah, no, he's
No,
not.
he's got something on. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
It's family
I got
thing or
confused.
Wedding or
Okay.
some event, something.
Ah,
There's a clash anyway. So I know. I know.
But we get to see you in person. That'd be nice.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You can wind Bebop up in person.
Oh, I look forward to it. And if Ian Abbott is there, then Ian, please do introduce yourself to me, and I'll get you acquainted with the Bridge Club bar.
Awesome.
I'm sure we've got something to play us out. I've no idea what it is, so try and enjoy that. And until next time, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Take me down to Hocus Alley.